Okay, so we left off at he was eating the bag, right? Okay, so he's eating the red meat and looking at me real creepy, and he eats the bag. And I was just like, no way. Like, that is so dangerous. That's so unhealthy. It was so scary. And I was just afraid of him because he was acting like a beast, you know, um, like a crazy man, you know, eating red meat and eating bags and stuff. And so I was just like, oh my goodness, like, this is insane, okay? He basically said nothing was wrong with that. He said this is a delicacy in different countries. And I was like, man, you are weird. And so, what did I do? I told on him again because I didn't know what else to do. His mom wasn't doing anything. And, you know, nobody was doing anything. And that was not normal because it just was not normal. And so I called her, and she got a court order to have him civilly committed to a hospital. And I was like, oh, shoot, like I had, you know, I mean, I had just told on my kid's dad, okay? That's really hard to do. I loved this man, and I wanted what was best for him. And here now, you know, what was best for him, she decided, was for him to be civilly committed to a mental hospital. And I was like, oh, this is just great. And so, of course, you know, she called, told his mom that blah, blah, blah. I had told her all this stuff, and it was really great, and he was really mad because he was mad at me for, you know, telling on them. But he never hit me during those times. He spent a lot of time in my trunk, and I think, you know, my other story talks about that. My other YouTube thing talks about that, but yeah, he was in my trunk, and he lived in there because he didn't want to get caught. And they knew where I lived, you know, the police. I was so familiar with the police. I remember one time I got pulled over, and the cop didn't even walk up, like all the way up to my car to see who I was. And he's like, Shiloh, why are you driving? You do not have a license. And, you know, I mean, I went to jail. Like, my life was cray. But anyway, so he knew that, you know, he couldn't stay at my house or in my house. So he stayed in my trunk. And then we left and eventually went to the casino because he was like, let's get out of here and, you know, go have a good time. And he always liked to go to the casino. He didn't like to gamble. He just watched me do it. He would give me money and I would do it. So I went and, you know, we had fun. I won't lie. And then it ended up getting pregnant. And on our way back, this is also on my other story, you know, I came and convinced him that I would, you know, check myself in too. If he went with, like, if he checked himself in, I would too. He refused to do it without me. I called a friend and told her what I was about to do and that she needed to call the hospital and tell him what I was going to do. The plan worked. He got sent to Wilmer Treatment Center, and I did not hear from him for a few weeks. When I did talk to him, I told him I was pregnant, and he was like, this is what he said. I said, John, I'm pregnant. And he said, and? The other story talks about the morning after pill. I just left that whole part out because it's already recorded. But so that's kind of where I was missing pieces, and I wanted it all to be on here so I can get it to someone. But anyways, so that talks about the morning after pill, which, you know, I think is just as bad as abortion. It is abortion. It's, you know, a form of abortion.
Thanks, Mommy.
You're welcome. So, you know, yeah. So that part, the other recorded part talks about that. So I'm not going to go into that. So he went to Wilmer Treatment Center for a few weeks. Told him I was pregnant, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm reading also. He eventually got out, and I took him back again. And the craziness seemed to stop for a while. But it started right up again right before my son started kindergarten. I woke up, and my house was literally destroyed. There were Native American books posted up everywhere and crunched up noodles all over the floor. There were pots and pans in the bathtub and alphabet magnets spelling weird things all over. And that's just the half of it. He was wearing my pants and a dress shirt. He had it on backwards. He had 2 different shoes on his feet also. He just looked like, I was like, what in the world? And now you have to know about us, okay? He was a drug dealer. He always dressed super nice, bought expensive stuff. So he made me have this really expensive taste And so for me to look at him like that was like, dude, go look in the mirror. Like, look how you look ridiculous. So that's why the clothes were such a big deal to me. And, as a Christian now, I realize that Satan does stuff backwards because he can't do it like God. So he tries to mimic him by doing it backwards. And I didn't know that at that time. I was just like, why do you have clothes on backwards? Like, and 2 different shoes on your feet? Okay, so that wasn't even the creepiest part. When I asked him, like, what are you doing? He said, he started talking back to me in a different language. And I had no idea what he was saying, but I was really afraid of the language, okay? I just knew right away that I was really scared. And so I called his mom, and I was like, someone needs to come get him because he is going crazy again. And I explained everything about the house, and she was like, you must be exaggerating. You're always saying John's doing stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, come over, like, come see this in real life. Okay. So she came over, and because some of the stuff I say, you guys, I know it sounds like, good story. How'd you come up with that? No, this is my real life. Like, this stuff for real happened to me. I have no reason to try to make it up and record it and put it on YouTube. Nobody even looks at it. I don't even tell anybody that I put it on YouTube. I told a few people, but not a lot. Probably 5. Anyways, it's not for other people to judge and say, oh, that probably didn't happen, or she maybe exaggerated that a bit. No, I do not care. You can say that if you want, because this stuff really happened. So anyway, she comes over, and she was like, oh my goodness, like, what is going on? And she was trying to get him to get in the car because she was going to take him with her. And he wouldn't get in the car. He was just walking up and down my sidewalk, speaking that language. It was very, very scary. Like, I just was like crying, and his mom was like, what is going on? Like, I've never seen my son like this. And he ended up walking to the Holiday gas station that was really close to my house. And he took some bleach. Like, he stole some bleach out of the store. He walked into the store, took the bleach, came out, and set it next to the gas station, or the gas, like, pump thing. And the Holiday people were like, okay, well, what is this dude doing? Look how he looks. He just stole some bleach. And why is he by the gas station with the bleach? Like, by the pump. And so they called the police, and I was like, oh, shoot, does somebody call the police? Because I didn't want to do it again. Like, I already knew it was going to happen and whatever. I wanted him to want to go. I wanted him to want help. You know what I mean? But he didn't. And so whatever. They called the police and, convinced him to get in the car. I don't even know how because I left. But he got in the car, and I'll pick it up in a second.